Hey crafty friends, I'm Adrienne Bosey of Alice Scraps Wonderland and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing my assembly and layering process for a set of dark academia panels I created using the latest release from Sizzix and Tim Holtz. This release features some of the most popular embossing folder textures in a larger size, which is perfect for bigger projects like this or even for creating slimline cards. I use the Botanical Large and Entangled Large texture fades plus some Tim Holtz Sizzix dyes in my stash, and I'll have all of the new items and essentials listed in the description box below for you. So let's get right into this tutorial. I'm using the 6 by 8.5 inch sized Tim Holtz etc. panels for the base of this project. To create a cohesive look, I paint the edges of each panel with some heavy black gesso. Gesso doesn't contain much moisture, so it won't warp this thick board. I just wanted to show off the texture of these two embossing folders a bit here. I think the 3D embossing folders from Sizzix are next level, and I haven't seen another company match that 3D texture and detail yet. I sent each of these through my Sizzix switch with some black mixed media cardstock that I had misted. That misting of paper is an important step so the fibers of the cardstock don't tear. While I love the subtlety of the black here, I really want to highlight that amazing texture. So after the paper has dried, I apply the Lilac Rainbow Luster wax with my fingers to the highlights of the embossed cardstock. I love how shimmery this wax is. Now these pieces of embossed cardstock were cut to 5.5 by 8 inches, so in order to cover the full panel, we need a piece of that same cardstock but cut to 6 by 8.5 inches. I adhere that to the panels with some permanent adhesive and then use my Sizzix sprayer to press it firmly to the panel. Then I use some 2mm thick foam adhesive to adhere the embossed cardstock to each panel. I've already prepped these Beetle resin casts by painting them with the same black gesso that I used earlier on the thick board panels. And again, to highlight that texture, I apply the same wax to each beetle. These beetles are from the Redesign with Prima Midnight Muses mold, which is perfect for nature and dark academia inspired projects like this. Since this is a dark academia project, I wanted to include some spider webs and other natural elements in this project. Here, I'm gluing 2 layers of vellum together for each of these spider webs using Sizzix Express Glue. Next, I add dots of the Sizzix liquid gloss to the spider webs to mimic water droplets, then dust the gloss with some iridescent glitter for a little sparkle. After these dried, I added a layer of white pearlescent cardstock as the bottom layer of each of these spider webs to keep them from curling and for more stability. I used the pearl white from the Sizzix Festive Opulent Surfaces pack. I cut one of the bloom Colorize flowers from various white and cream cardstocks. On some of the layers, I added a little distress oxide in antique linen and glued all of the layers together. Now it's time to start adding elements to the base of the project. I used 1/8 inch wide 3mm thick foam to add this corner spider web. Then I began to plan placement of the main elements on the project, including some prima flowers and the larger spider web. I die cut several of the skeleton leaves from some purple and coral hued Sizzix cardstocks, as well as some of the leaves from the Bloom Colorize die set. I use shaping tools to give these leaves a more natural look. Once I'm done shaping leaves and planning things out, I begin gluing down the leaves and flowers using hot glue. I then float the larger web over the project by gluing half of it to the large prima flowers. I add a smaller flower and leaves, then hot glue the beetle to the project, angling it so it is half on the smaller flower. I tuck in a smaller flower below the beetle, then add the white die cut flower. I die cut an expression 3 times from some cardstock and glued those layers together with express glue. I hot glue this to the web. The finishing touch is tucking in some nests of Sisal fibers with a bit of hot glue. And here are both of the finished panels. I think this set of dark academia panels turned out perfectly. The mix of black, coral, and purple is striking and is one of my favorite color palettes. I hope this inspires you to create a larger size project using the new Tim Holtz and Sizzix A5 sized embossing folders. And until next time, happy crafting!